AskReddit by Egachim. What professions need to be paid significantly more? EMTs and medics. Man, when I went from 9 an hour to 14 an hour when I got that medic cert, I felt rich AF in 2010. EMTs. They are heroes that are paid very poorly. I have no idea how Madam Webb is able to afford such a nice neck apartment. Caregivers. Especially unpaid family caregivers. I was going to say that too. I'm pretty sure in the UK as well, they're not paid for any travel time between clients either. Essential workers are not paid like essential workers. We didn't even learn nothing from COVID. We learned a lot of wrong things. Teachers. This society would change quite a bit if we prioritized education. Between the absurdly low pay and how much crap parents and politicians give teachers, I have no clue who in their right mind would even want to get into teaching these days. If we don't pay teachers a bunch more and or get politicians' parents off their back, we as a society are going to have some very big problems long term. The bottom 2/3 out of all of them. Really, it's the non-professionals who most need to be paid significantly more. Service industry people. Farm laborers. Construction workers. The people we depend on for the material basis of life. Even specialist positions are declining and are underpaid and overworked. You also depend on specialists. Construction workers need engineers to plan what they construct. Manufacturing needs someone to figure out how and what to manufacture. Janitorial cleaning jobs. For real, dude. Especially school janitors. They see some horrific shit in those HS bathrooms and they get treated poorly. It's even more fucked up that most of my school's janitors were veterans who'd done some really impressive things. Teachers. Teachers' salary even in high-paid states hasn't kept up with inflation. Most of the public sector feels this problem, but teachers deserve more compensation. Full disclosure, I used to think teachers were overpaid. Their value to society is unmatched. Social workers. That's true. My father did that as his third and final career and hated it. He worked in child welfare and found it to be a soul-sucking experience. The mediocre pay didn't help. He retired at his first opportunity and never looked back. Teachers, nurses, paramedics. They make about 1/3 of what nurses make. Preschool teachers, daycare workers. People always say, but their job is so easy. All they do is play with babies all day. Have you ever actually done that 23 of them at a time? Shit is exhausting. If more people actually knew the circumstances around who their kids' daycare teachers were, half of them wouldn't send them to daycare. So many of them don't want to be there, don't take the job seriously, are so inexperienced and don't stay in the field. And it's because they are paid a pittance. My wife, who works in daycare, always jokes about how she can make more flipping burgers than teaching a class of 5-10 2-year-olds. That's ridiculous. Teachers. Social workers. They see the worst of society and try to work miracles with next to no resources. Academic scientific researchers. Depends on the field. Some get paid a lot don't get paid much at all. Social workers. Teachers, healthcare workers. Teachers for sure. Social workers, and depending on what they do work specialty wise, I think a lot of counselors, therapists, psychologists should too. Teachers. We entrust them with our kids' education, safety and personal development, and we pay them shit money. It makes no sense. I don't think many people realize how much money nurses can make. At my hospital in a low cost of living area, And others I know of, nurses start around 70-75k, go up to 100k plus with a few years experience. And I'm not complaining about that, they deserve it and should. But as a social worker, we make significantly less, yet we have master's degrees. We're forgotten about. Edit, much of the time we do the exact same work as well, discharge planning. But social workers are always paid about 20k less. Often for extra responsibilities as well, psychosocial assessments, abuse neglect, crisis intervention, etc. After graduating with a bachelor's in psychology and working in mental health for a number of years, it became apparent that I would have to go back to school. The options were getting a master's in social work and making what I was making in perpetuity on top of paying student loans, or going back to school for nursing and earning 2 to 3 times as much. No brainer. All my friends went the social work route and they are criminally underpaid for dealing with the same population. Teaching. Nurses, aides. Teachers and first responders. Teachers, nurses, elderly care staff. Teachers,